Now before we get started in today's video, make sure to subscribe to the channel with a bell notification turned on for all the best Wrexham FC content on YouTube. This is where you can find the best matchday vlogs, the best reaction videos, the best videos just on Wrexham FC in general. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the player ratings for our 3-1 defeat at Bramall Lane against Sheffield United in the FA Cup. Now this was an incredible performance from the team, and I feel like it's only right that we go through every individual player and give them a ranking. Starting off with our goalkeeper Rob Lainton, I've given him an 8 out of 10. Now Rob made some incredible saves to keep us in the game in the first and second half. It will be interesting to see if he does get the nod on Saturday for our game at home to Wealdstone. Anthony Ford, I've given a 6 out of 10. He didn't make a huge impact on the game in the first half, but in the second half we utilised him a lot more down that right hand side and he got a lot more of the ball, but again he just didn't really have the impact on the game that we hoped he would have done. Max Cleworth, I've given an 8 out of 10. Now apart from the mistake that led to Billy Sharp's goal, I thought Cleworth was absolutely immense. Top notch performance, you know, he did really well against two championship regular strikers, and like I said, he didn't look out of place. What a performance from Max. Ben Tozer, I've given a 7 out of 10. Now his experience played a huge role in the game on Tuesday night. I thought he had a really solid game, which shouldn't be a surprise at this rate. You know, he's consistently pulling out 7, 8 out of 10s every week. Harry Lennon, I've given an 8 out of 10. Now considering he's just come back from a lengthy injury, he didn't half look great in that back line. He was incredible in the air. He won most of the aerial duels that he did face, and I thought he looked really well and should be in contention in the starting 11 for Saturday's game. What a performance from Harry Lennon. Jacob Mendy, I've given a 7 out of 10. Now he really tested their right wing back with his pace and his quick bursts of speed. It was a shame that he didn't last the whole game, because I thought in the first half he was our main source of attacking threat when we did get the chances that we did get. You know, everything was being played down that left hand side. It was whether it be Mendy crossing into the box or cutting inside to create chances outside of the box. You know, I thought he had a really good game and I hope to see him start on Saturday. Luke Young, I've given it an 8 out of 10. An incredible performance yet again from our skipper. He left absolutely everything he had on that pitch on Tuesday night and was consistently looking to get the ball and to play forward and just to get the attacking threat and just get us attacking towards our away fans in the second half. He was our main source of where everything started to happen when we wanted to go forward. James Jones, I've given a 6 out of 10. You know, he was full of energy like he does go into every game with, but he just didn't have the impact that he would hope to have had on the game. A bit like Anthony Ford, again he just couldn't grow into the game and couldn't get the usual self that we do usually see when he's in a Wrexham shirt. Andy Cannon, I've given an 8 out of 10. In my opinion, I would have given him my man of the match, just ahead of Paul Mullin. He did not stop running, always wanted the ball, and when he did have it, he was so effective with it. His close control was really good. His passing, I just thought he looked really good and showed why he was playing for a championship side a few months ago. Paul Mullin, I've given an 8. Like Rob Page did say after the game, he was constantly pressing them to try and win the ball back, and he was beating defenders to the ball every time. He looked really sharp and obviously did bag the penalty. You know, he won 2 of the penalties as well, so he was being a real nuisance in the Sheffield United half. Sam Dolby, I've given a 5 out of 10. He won a couple of headers that led to flick-ons and running onto the ball and stuff, but I just don't think it was his day, unfortunately, for Sam. The substitutes that did come on, I've given McAlinden a 4 out of 10, O'Connor a 5 out of 10, Lee a 5 out of 10, Palmer a 6 out of 10, and Bickerstaff a 3 out of 10. No subs obviously made a huge impact on the game. The most, I'd say, Palmer. Obviously, you know what you get with Ollie Palmer. He was using his strength well, he was using his aerial prowess really well again. Most of the subs came on but didn't really have a huge amount of time to make a name for themselves and to put their name in the headlines. Now we're going to be moving on to Billy Sharp. Now I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I feel like it's only right that I speak on this whole situation. Although we don't know what the players have said to him pre-game or after game, it still doesn't need this type of reaction for him on and off the pitch as well. It happened down the tunnel and on the pitch when he did do his gestures at the end of the match. It was just completely babyish from a player that has played for over a decade possibly if not 2 decades. But yeah, very strange behaviour from him. Now, he stated in his interview that he thought Wrexham were already through to the next round to play Tottenham. Now, he's obviously seen the tweet where we've put Tottenham Hotspur official and the eyes emoji to the side and the players doing the celebration. I just want to say, Billy, this picture was taken months before we'd even knew we were playing in the first round of the FA Cup. This was when we beat Altrincham 4-0, and it was after Son said he was a massive fan of Wrexham after the documentary. So they did the celebration to just say thank you that they're a massive fan of the club. This wasn't taken between our game when we drew 3-3 and between the replay. I don't think we'd be that stupid to do that, because obviously we weren't guaranteed to go through anyway. Maybe if it was against a lower league team, we'd have maybe had the slightest bit of confidence, but it would just have been a stupid thing to do. And obviously it's normal as well for the fans to be dreaming and thinking about the future and playing Tottenham Hotspur if we got past Sheffield United. Now, I don't think I can name you one Wrexham fan that said, I cannot wait to play Tottenham in the 5th round, you know, because we knew that we weren't already going to go through. And the majority of the fans, we sort of knew that we were going to get knocked out, but it was just the thought of being able to host Tottenham at the racecourse that got everyone excited. And yeah, it was just a bit strange how you had a go at us for thinking that we were already through, but in reality we were just dreaming and hoping that we were going to get through. Why? You've just won 3-1, you should be happy, you should be reacting to the game that you're going through, and you're playing Tottenham Hotspur in the next round. You shouldn't be coming at us moaning straight away, but straight off the back, moaning at the Wrexham players, moaning at the fans, moaning at the fact we were already through, and just constantly saying we're happy we beat them. You'd said you'd hope that was the last of it and hopefully it would die down, but it would have been died down if you wouldn't have come to the TV cameras and moaned after the game. You know, nothing would have been said if you wouldn't have done that pathetic reaction to after just winning 3-1 and hosting a big Premier League side in the next round. And something tells me that a non-league side has completely upset you, even though you've just scored a last-minute winner to send your side through to the next round. And also, I just want to say, you obviously saw John Egan shushing, cupping his ears towards the Wrexham family stand in the last game, but did you see any of our players or Parkinson, our manager, come moaning to the TV cameras, crying about how they were disrespectful and stuff? No, because we have a bit of class about us. I mean, there was just no excuse for you to come to the interviewer and straight off the back just slate Wrexham and everything. It's just a bit strange, isn't it? And also, you did say that the referee was on our side for the game. I can understand that you might be angered about the penalty decision. Even as a Wrexham fan, I could admit it started outside of the box and I think it should have been a free kick right on the edge of the box. But I can't think of any occasion where he made a deliberate, clear and obvious error. It was a clean game for the majority of it, apart from your team, who conceded 8 fouls, whereas Wrexham only conceded 6. So if anything, we should be saying that the refs were a bit dodgy, but obviously the 2 main penalties are the main talking points of it. But at the end of the day, your team made the more fouls, and bringing up the fact that the referee wanted to be on the documentary, wanted to make himself the hero, is just totally unnecessary, because A, the second penalty was a clear penalty, Norwood clearly brought him down, and the first one is a deliberate foul, so you cannot say that the referee was trying to be on our side. And I would understand if it was miles outside the box and it was a horrific error, but there was barely anything in it, and it's just strange behaviour from you to come and not only slate the Wrexham fan base, the manager, the players, but you also slate the officials in the game as well, which again is strange because you won the game 3-1. I'd understand this if you'd lost the game to that Mullin penalty, but you've beaten us 3-1, which is, again, just doesn't sit with me. And then doing the crying gesture towards the Wrexham fans at the end of the game, it's just laughable, it's pathetic, it's childish behaviour. You're 37 years of age and you're meant to be a role model for some, and you've come off the pitch rattled by the Wrexham faithful, but I mean, you've just made yourself look really stupid, and Wrexham fans are just laughing at you because you obviously tried to provoke a reaction out of us, and we're just laughing at how much of a pathetic player you are. Now, aside from Billy Sharp's reactions, I think it was a great 180 minutes of football. Both teams played really well over the 2 legs, and I'm sure Sheffield United fans can admit that Wrexham put up a good fight, and I'll say Sheffield United have some real good quality in that squad, and I think he played really well. The back line looked really organised and just looked really good, and then obviously you've got the threat up front as well. I just think they do have the class to go up to the Premier League this season, and I wish them all the best in getting promotion this year. And it's just a shame that Billy Sharp, with his babyish behaviour, had to dampen the spotlight on what was a great FA Cup tie. And like I said, Sheffield United, they've got something really special going under Paul Heckingbottom. Now I do expect them to be playing Premier League football next year, and like I said, I wish them all the best. It was a lovely club, you know, it was a great ground, and the experience there was quite good, apart from the end when we've heard there's the fans bricking the buses and stuff. But again, what can we do about that? It happens in most games. But like I said, it was a good experience to Sheffield United. It's a ground I can say that I've ticked off, and you know, I've been an admirer of Bramall Lane for the last few years, seeing it on the TV when we've watched Premier League games there, and to actually be in the stadium and experience what it's like to be there on a match day was quite surreal. And it's good to see us playing in a couple of these big grounds in the cup run that we had. And for Wrexham, I'm really proud of the team. Obviously they gave absolutely everything. Every last bit of energy was used between these two cup ties, and like I said, all the focus now is going on to the league, which I'm kind of happy that we've been knocked out. Obviously it would have been incredible to host Tottenham in the next round, but at the end of the day we might have had a couple of injuries. We've shown in the first leg with Hayden and Tunnicliffe out injured, it's not worth it. That could easily happen again in the next round. So like I said, I'm kind of glad that we aren't through, and now we can fully focus on the league. And the players and the staff and everyone involved in Wrexham have given us some incredible memories that I'll cherish forever. You know, beating Coventry away, a championship team, nearly beating Sheffield in the first leg, but even if we didn't win, it was a great occasion. Ryan celebrating there, the TV cameras, the goals galore. It was just everything that you could wish for in an FA Cup tie, and you've made the fans absolutely proud. Now, aside from the Sheffield United Cup tie, we're going to be talking about Rob Page and the comments he made on Wrexham striker Paul Mullin. Now, this is what Page said on BBC Sport about Mullin. He didn't give the centre-backs a minute on the ball. If there was an aerial battle, he was there. He was competing all the time, and I like that about him. He's got a really good eye for goal, and he's got quality as well. I was really impressed with him. This is really promising words from Rob Page as he's looking to tweak his squad before the next international break in late March. And it's good to see that Mullin is, you can sort of say he's on the radar, because he obviously knows about him, he knows of his quality, and I'm sure it can't be too long before he does get that call up. Now, the next international break for Wales does fall between the 25th and the 28th of March when we play Croatia away and Latvia at home. This would mean that Mullin would miss our game on the 25th against York City at home, but would be back in time for our game at home to Oldham on the 1st of April. But obviously it's towards the back end of the season. It's where we need to be winning as many games as possible, and we need to have our fully strengthened squad, and there's a chance of obviously Mullin getting injured on international break, and that could really dent our promotion hopes. And as incredible as it would be to see Paul Mullin playing for Wales and representing Wrexham at international level, I don't think he'll get the March call-up, and I think this is down to Page. I don't think it's down to him thinking Mullin's not good enough to make the cut for the squad. I think it's Page will know that we'll need him towards those vital games at the end of the season, and at such an important time for us. Now, I've got no problem with Rob Page calling up Mullin for the internationals in June. That's obviously the off-season. It'd be great to see Mullin making an outing in that, but just not in the middle of the season, please. Now, I'm glad that Rob Page has taken a serious noting in Mullin, because I think a lot of people disregard him because he's playing in non-league. He can't make the Wales squad. It'd be embarrassing if they did call up a non-league player, but in reality we do know that Mullin is easily League One standard, and with 28 goals in 33 games, it's sort of hard to ignore him when he's on the form of his life and when he's hitting the peak of the form that he could possibly get. So let me know, would you be happy with Mullin leaving for one game in late March to represent Wales at international level, or do you think we need him? Personally, for me, I would be disappointed to see if he did make the Wales squad. That sounds really stupid, but it's understandable when we're in mid-season. But like I said, I hope one day, possibly in June, that we do see Mullin putting on a Wales shirt. Now, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to hit 13,000. We're under 50 away, so if you could get anyone you know to subscribe, that'd be massively appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video. Up the town.